Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to my food channel. My name is Lee, and you probably see me doing some live cooking on Facebook. Some of you got a lot of requests, anyways, to, instead of go live, finally put up a YouTube channel. I've been holding off because it just wasn't the right timing. Now, anyways, let's get rolling. I put some olive oil in there, a little bit of the stock pot. This is about a 10 to 12 quart. Some of the ingredients I have, in case you can't see them, I have some chopped onions, chopped celery. I have salt and pepper mixed right here to taste. I have some thyme, dry thyme. Flour here. I'm going to go ahead and start things off with some bacon. Over here, so you can see it's already cut up. Kind of cut it up here. You could use salt pork. Some people say, salt pork is better. I'm not doing this on the stove top. I do this in the stock pot with my little portable. Over here, if you can follow me this far, I have about 5 pounds of potatoes. From there, I'm just going to go ahead and add some thyme, some salt and pepper. Take some clam juice, fresh stock over here that I have. And that is going to be added along with the potatoes. And I'm going to go ahead and make a roux. That's how I pretty much make a base. It's better for me. I like to refrigerate that overnight. When it's done in 2 stages. What you want to do is, most about cooking in soups and chowder, you want to build layers, so you don't want to just flush out the taste. So that being said, let's just render that down, that bacon, and we'll be back here in a couple of minutes. Thank you. Rendered the bacon down. I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil, get things going here, just a touch. Just enough that we have the, want to balance out that fat content. Celery, onions into the pot. Right here. Right here. And even this, maybe I cut a little too much, but that's okay. Decent amount of onion in there, some celery. I don't usually put that much celery unless you're making the Rhode Island style, but this is going to work. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get this, the celery and the onions cooked down a bit. Get the goodness from the bottom there. Or deglaze that pan also. Might have to put another drop of olive oil in there. Now, we're going to step over here for a second. You can follow me. I separated the fresh quahogs. You can have them shucked if you don't feel like doing it yourself. Like I had that done. So I got a lot of the water here. A lot of recipes that said don't add water. The one thing I say don't add, for me anyways, is I don't add chicken stock. We're not making chicken soup. You could do it if you're having a flavor profile issue where you don't think it's bursting with flavor. You could cheat, you could do that. But anyways, after you separate the quahog juice from the quahogs, I added the bacon that I rendered. It was still, not crispy. I put it in here. A lot of people toss it. I don't toss it. To me, you all notice the difference if it's a clam or not. So what I did was I put it in here, in this food processor, and I process it down. Now, just shot up puree, and I pulse it pretty good. And that's going to go into this mix here with a little bit of flour and stuff here as soon as this cooks down. And then I'll add the fresh thyme to it, flour, salt and pepper mix. That's actually my cold mix. It will stop at that point just so you understand what I'm doing. If you have time to do it over the course of 2 days, that's how the Black Pearl restaurant. I was young, I used to work there cleaning the kitchen, but they did teach me how to make clam chowder along with the chowder house in Newport, Rhode Island, which was right next door. If you like the Black Pearl's chowder, you might find mine similar to it. We're going to take another break. We're going to let this cook down, and we'll be right back. Hey, we're back, and that bacon's pretty good. You could use salt pork if you like. It's just your preference. Anyways, now that we're rendering that down, so a lot of people, when they do the bacon, one of the reasons I do the bacon is because I like to take that bacon, I don't toss it out. A lot of people get rid of that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run that through food processor along with fresh shucked quahogs. I got 2 quarts of fresh shucked quahogs, chopped sea clams, which goes in last, would have been tomorrow since I'm going to do it today. So after the first phase, your aromatics, making a roux. From there, quahogs that have been run through the food processor, I separate the water. In fact, I'm going to put another tablespoon, a little bit, not even do it now. Just that bacon cooking. I'm going to take that bacon and throw it right in there with the clam I'm gonna mix that down, and that's the base. Really, that's where you're gonna get all your flavor from the fresh quahogs. That's the only way I do it. I'm not big into the can thing. And then you get some sea clams, surf clams, whatever you want to call them. Fresh chopped clams, there's generally no flavor in here. It's all about the substance. That's why you add this at the end and not use your chowder clams, which are typically tougher. So I like to emulsify those down, get the flavor, build the roux, and then build that layer later on. I'll add the cream, the fresh chopped surf clams. I'll add some fresh dill and some white pepper, a little bit of garlic in the cream, a little bit of sherry. That's it. You know my recipe now. Let's do it. Okay, the veggies are looking pretty good in there. The onions and celery look great. I don't think I'm going to add any more. I cut some extras. I did about 5-6 stalks. Probably, obviously, too much. So what I'm going to do right now, though, is we're going to give you a little quick seasoning. That's what it looks like. I'm going to add some dry thyme. I don't have any fresh. Forgot to get some. And this will be fine. I'm not even going to add the whole thing. You can always do it to taste, add more. I'm not going to add any of my fresh dill yet. That'll be in the second phase. I don't want to cook the dill down. You kind of want that very aromatic if you don't overcook it. I got some white pepper. I'll add that later because I have salt and pepper right here. A little of that's going in there. Again, I didn't use it all. I just kind of eyeballs. That's how I cook. You got a little mix in there. Oh, that's mostly good with that thyme. So what we're going to do here, this is why, if you can cook it like this, but if you put it in the refrigerator overnight, that fresh thyme, the dry thyme, kind of basically turns fresh. And it's just bursting with flavor when you mix that up. So what we're going to do now, that we're cooking that down, the fresh quahog juice, when I separated it and I processed the quahogs, which are minced real fine, and we're going to add that. That's really a base right there. Yeah, we're going to go with that. And I do have a little cornstarch that I can add later if it doesn't thicken right. But with the potatoes and everything, I think I'm going to be pretty good. So yeah, we'll be right back. Okay, this is my quahog mix. You saw that I added the quahog juice in here a few minutes ago. And now we're just going to add that. Almost got splashed on that one. Basically, this is going to be what we're cooking the potatoes in. As you can see, we're building things in layers. So that's about it. So, hey, tell me about your recipe. How you doing with your chowder? What kind of variations? A lot of people like to put carrots in it. I know it can add a little sweetness, but that's what we got dried sherry or vermouth for. Typically, I like to use the vermouth. You can substitute dry sherry is fine too. It might be a little sweeter. That's finishing at the end. A little pat with butter and a little bit of sherry, a little dill sets it off correct, in my opinion. So, what we did not add, garlic powdered. I'm not using, I could put fresh garlic in there. I'm not looking to make, garlic and clam sauce or anything like that. So, I don't want it to be overpowered by the garlic. Just a little to bring out the flavor of everything together. So that being said, this looks good. I can add my potatoes now. And just to get an idea how much, I would say this pot is half full at this point. Don't forget. I want to give a shout out to some friends in New Bedford, like all of them. Shout out to my brother who's always online with his show. Really, Charlie? Charlie Perry? I see you out there, man. You're doing a good job for the community. And I see all my other friends out there doing well. And hopefully all your friends are doing well. And we're going to bring this up to, not a rolling boil, but we're going to go ahead and get those potatoes cooked. Let's see what things look like from here. We're at about 3/4 full. This is perfect. However many potatoes you want, really. I'm not looking for a potato soup. But I'll tell you, when it comes to thickening, if you really cook them down and it's not thick enough, rather than trying to add all kinds of thickening, I'm gonna need it because I can always go ahead and the little hand blenders, emulsify some of that down, and you'd be good. But we'll see how it ends up here. We're gonna take another break. Again, I appreciate you joining me and appreciate you all and love you all. So thanks for joining me. Cooking Under Pressure with Lee. Thank you. All right, we're back. New England Clam Chowder. Now the potatoes have cooked down. If someone wants a job doing camera work for me, I will pay you. You want to do that. A little bit over there. But anyways, it's ready. What I'm adding right now is just a little sherry. And what that's going to do is it's a little bit briny. And that's okay. I'll just cut that off with A little bit of sherry or dry vermouth. And this is, you're gonna have to taste every now and then. So we're gonna let that cook for another 5 minutes because that may be good enough right now for Rhode Island clam chowder. And that's what we're looking for right now. And basically we have Rhode Island and New England from the same pot. I think that's about perfect. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I mean, potatoes, they look good. We had a nice little rolling boil. I let that simmer for a bit. Let's go ahead and set some aside for a little bit of Rhode Island style chowder from the same pot. I had the roux that I made, and then I just added more stock, decided to cook it. I'm gonna add a little sherry, balance out that briny taste. Yeah, it was probably about a good third of a cup of sherry. Right now I'm gonna add these chopped clams because this is basically done. When you don't really want to cook these, man, that's a lot. I don't play around when it comes to the clams. If you're gonna put in a lot of potato, you gotta put in a lot of clam. I think that's about perfect. Adding some fresh dill because I'm gonna put the white pepper in after I put the cream in because white pepper goes well with that. I got some fresh dill here. I'll give that a big pinch. You want to put this in at the end. You don't want to overcook this. You might lose that aroma of the fresh greens. And it goes well with the sherry and the cream. All right, we're back, and as you know, we cooked these potatoes pretty good. A little bit of a rolling boil here, so I'm going to back that off. And what I'm going to do to thicken things up a little, you don't have to thicken it if you want, it's up to you. But either way, this is going to be in New England, so I got some heavy cream. Some people like to use light. I think the Black Pearl uses a light cream. There's a few tricks that I use too. So when I use potato starch, if I wanted a little help thickening up, and I forgot I had that, so I eliminated cornstarch. And I did go with a little flour when I first started making slurry. And we're going to go ahead and add this little mixture of cream and potato starch. Slowly. The taste was already incredible, so I was happy about that. It looks very nice right now. I'm just going to go ahead and add some cream, some white pepper. You always just put down a little bit more dill here. Add the rest of this heavy cream. Now taste this. Add some sherry if needed. I don't believe it is. Let's say this pot was looking really good. I'm gonna go ahead and ladle it into the bowl because I know it's tough for you to see. In the middle of cooking, I'm also checking out my Facebook. Charlie Perry says, let's do a podcast. I'm down for that. You can watch me cook, but once you taste it, you don't know how good it is, so you gotta take someone else's word for it. I'm gonna say this looks beautiful. And a little tiny pinch of that thyme. You know, a little butter on top when you first take it out. It's always perfect. Can't go wrong with butter, right? Okay, everybody, let's take a look at what this is gonna look like plated up because I'm sure that's what you're all waiting for. I'm not gonna be shy about eating this in front of you either. All right, let's take a good peek at that. I'll take some snapshots of it also. Here's the big test. Consistency is good. Potatoes are cooked to perfection. I think that's spot on. They won't get rid of the cook in this house yet. Thanks for joining me. Hit the subscribe button. Let's do something together. Hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it.